Alright, on this episode of A Fly a Day while my wife's away, tying a pheasant tail. Pheasant tails sometimes have a bead head, sometimes they have lead wire, different things going on. This one was a very simple one. It's just using some pheasant tail barbs and some copper wire and nothing else. So had a little trouble with these because these pheasant tail barbs are a little bit brittle. They're a little older. So I've already got copper wire tied on. Already got my thread base here. So I'm just going to start with my pheasant tail here. I'm just going to get a couple of turns to hold that down. And then I'll wrap forward to where I think I'm going to end up, which is probably going to be about right here. And I think I may have to, with this stuff, they're also short. Sometimes they're longer like this. I think I'm going to try to get as far as I can and then tie in some more pieces and keep going. We'll see what happens this time. I've had to restart this video like 3 times because everything broke. I couldn't keep going. Sometimes you just have to do that when you're tying a fly. Kind of goes along with my motto. Well, my fly tying motto, or my fly tying coming to terms with reality. Sometimes you tie a fly and you end up with a beautiful work of art, and sometimes you end up with a bunch of crap tied to a hook. As you can see right there, I already had a piece break off again. Okay. Just snip that clean. It won't really matter. Oh, my scissors are dull. Yeah, that won't matter because I'll start with the wire and cover that. So now I'm going to do these guys and tie them in with the butt end first, because I want these points to end up as the beard, the legs of this thing. I've never seen one of these tied before. I've only tied regular pheasant tails. This might be the way they tie them anyway, because how easy is it to get pheasant tails that are long enough to wrap around this thing a bunch of times? I don't know. Guess it depends on where you get your materials from. I don't remember where I got mine. It's been a while. Might have left that a little bit long. I think that'll actually work. Got another piece broken off there. It's still a little short, so I'm going to take another turn of it. So it's not looking like the most beautiful pheasant tail in the world. That's okay. Get that clear of those points. I'm just going to wrap this around. I'll go the other way. Just take several turns here to build up the head. And then we'll come under these guys a little bit. I got a decent head. So I think I could have used the wire underneath the body there to make it thicker, since these pheasant tails are a little bit thin and brittle and all that good stuff. But you know what? If I tie that on the end of the line and throw it out there and let it dangle, maybe below a floating hopper or some foam pattern, I think that it would do fine to catch something. It's got some sparkle to it. The pheasant tail has a little sparkle to it, has an iridescent kind of quality, and then of course the wire is reflective, and you know, the little bits here would hold some little air bubbles and stuff to make it look alive. So I'm just going to finish this off here now with my whip finisher. Yeah, I think it would be fine. One time when I was in Knoxville, I was out fishing and I was trying all these different flies. I wasn't catching anything. And this dude comes walking up with his kid. And I don't remember if they were fly fishing or bait fishing or whatever. And they had a stringer full of fish. And I asked him what he was fishing on. He said, "I'm just throwing bare hooks out there. They don't have anything on them. They're not tied like anything specific. They're just bare hooks." And that's what he was catching his fish on. Sometimes you go through all this trouble with making your hook look all beautiful and making it look like God's creatures that fish want to eat. And all you needed to do was throw a hook out there. Just get the hook in the water and then you'll catch something. So I don't worry too much about how these things look. I mean, I will say that if you're out fly fishing and you're trying, you see these fish eating very specific creatures, you want to make it look as much like that creature as possible, because you could make it look pretty close, and if it's the wrong size or a little bit of the wrong color, they just won't touch it because they're looking for something specific. But sometimes you tie something that looks, like this guy, and they'll tear it up. and you'd be surprised. So, but it's just, again, I'm not trying to make perfect flies. This is just a very simple process of tying on some barbs, wrapping those barbs, wrapping a wire around the outside of them to help protect them, and if they break off, they don't, go hanging off the top or something. And then, just tie the thread at the end and make it look like a head. It's pretty simple. So you can do that with a variety of materials. I can pull out some thread out of this guy right here, my Home Depot wood tie thing. Just pick a color and just make it out of that, and kind of get the same effect. So just simple, basic fly tying techniques. Make a tail, wrap the body, cover the body with wire, make a little beard, and tie off the head. Pretty easy. Anyway, there's my one fly a day while my wife's away pheasant tail. Hope you enjoyed.